Alright, so finally restoring something a little bit different. So I'm restoring two customs. One is going to look basically like this, and then the other one is going to get turned into a Roper RT8. So it'll have the big, like, boxy square fenders on it. That's like this. It'll be red. Actually, both of these are going to be red. So it'll look like that. This is a fender that I made way back in, I believe, the video where I made the Roper fenders and Sears tractor hoods, which I'll have that linked in the description if you want to check that out. So the plan is, this tractor here is a 69 Custom 7. This is the one that's going to get turned into the red Roper because it has the more modern floorboards. It has the modern front frame as far as how the axle mounts on. Has a better transmission already. Everything on it here is proper. I'd rather just cobble together one instead of both. So this is actually going to get a Roper style hood and grill, like an ST10 or ST16 Sears would have. And then the other custom, which I'm going to put the model number of it on the screen, because if anybody knows what year it is, I would be interested in knowing, because I have no idea. It comes up on my list of parts, or not part numbers, but model numbers, as a 68. It just seems like a 68 is a little bit too new to just have these just little foot pegs to put your foot on instead of the full floor, or instead of the floorboards like that. That's what seems weird. And the 68, when I looked it up on Google Images, also had the Roper transmission like this with the high-low. And this tractor just had that little 3-speed with reverse, little wimpier transmission in it. But it is going to get upgraded to the Roper transmission with a high-low. And this is rear frame off of an ST10, which, believe it or not, was originally off of a red custom, because if you see the inside, it is already red. So that's a little bit of a bonus there. So once that's together, probably, if you were to scratch the paint off, you wouldn't even know that it was different. So I'm going to actually get this tractor most of the way torn apart, and I will come back and update you with some of my progress. Alright, so a lot more has happened than what I was expecting. So I'm not going to do a video on this one on the transmission getting pulled out. I'll do that on the next one. And then maybe when I put these two together, I'll do the video on putting one of them in. There are so many creepy crawlies, spiders, you name it, kind of bugs in this one. So I was just too busy worrying about them to worry about a camera and to pull the rear end out. So I didn't bother. So you'll see it on one of the next ones. But anyway, got the fenders, transmission out. Somebody really messed up the parking brake on this one, or the brake and parking brake, I guess. It's the screw, or the bolt that threads in, is missing. It looks like it's been missing for a long time, and that's kind of twisted up, and then this is bent, and then they also bent this whole rod. So not exactly sure what happened there, but yeah, and this was also bent here, but I already bent that back. So got that taken out. I've never seen a red transmission before, so that's interesting. They even painted that plate right there red. Normally they, I guess I don't deal with customs a whole lot, so this is kind of a new thing for me. So the next thing for me is to get that little set screw out there, because on these they put a set screw in there. Pull the dash off. Already got the steering wheel off. So probably either the next video on this tractor or the video after, I'm going to be turning this steering wheel into a Roper steering wheel, so it'll have that dish to it and the chrome spokes. So since the outside of the steering wheel is in good shape, I'm going to cut the middle out and then add onto the spokes to give it that dish look, and then make it into a Roper looking steering wheel for the Roper one. And then so yeah, I'm going to get the rest of this tore apart and then come back and start assessing the situation on what parts I'm actually using on what tractor. Alright, so I got everything over there picked up. So all the custom 6 parts are on this pallet. All the Roper parts on that one. So that transmission is going to end up going with the custom. And then I already have the transmission out of that ST10 that I parted out a little while back. Is going to go on this one along with the hitch plate for that one. And then, of course, the hitch plate and the transmission is going to go to this one along with the fenders. And then Cool thing is them fenders bolted right here. You can kind of see where it's a brighter red. Is that this frame is capable of either the Sears round fenders or the Roper square fenders. They'll just bolt right onto that center bolt there, no problem. And then them fenders will bolt right onto that ST10 frame without any big deal. This pile of parts, never mind my little rolly chair thing. This side panel I actually need to remake. Probably end up going to have to make 2 of them because this one here is kind of rusty in the end. But that's no big deal for me to make. And that metal brake, that's right over there. I just need to cut 2 of these out and then bend it in that. And then I need to make some foam for this seat and then a little like vinyl cover for it. That'll probably be black for the Roper because the Custom is supposed to have a pan seat and I have one of them for that. My next project, which I'm going to start as soon as I shut the camera off, is I get to take all these tires off these rims and put new tires on them. So I will come back when I get them tires changed over. Okay, so I got a few things done since last time I had the camera on. So these tires right here, I got all of them put on the rims, and it's actually been a few days. They're still holding air, so that's good. So that's the tread that I'm going with. It's kind of a neat looking tread. I actually think some of the older ones, almost like David Bradley, I'm going to have to say, might have came with a tire like that. I know Sears sold a tractor with a tire that looked like that. I was going to use these, which is almost like it's actually a trailer tire, very heavy duty. But the problem is, it was hot out even with the AC going in here. And these tires are too much to get off the rim. And I have, I think, 3 or 4 sets of them left. So I wasn't going to mess with that. But the rest of them, they all came with tubes, which was a bonus. So I cleaned up the rims and I just popped it on the rim just to make sure that they were going to hold there and I didn't pop the tube. So I'll just pop them off the bead when I paint the rims. So I got everything wire wheeled to do with the first tractor. So that's the drill that I use. And somebody asked me what wire wheel I use. This is the brand that I use. It's the only one that actually seems to work good. Because it's very, yeah, I'll show you. It's very stiff looking. It's the same as what you'd get for a grinder. It's just I don't like using a grinder for this. And because grinders are very high speed, so if you get stuck on like a hole, it wants to almost launch the whole grinder across the room. It's kind of dangerous. And on this variable speed, and of course, if you, let's just say you grind down or wire wheel this portion here, you do that in forward on the drill, and then it bends the brushes the one way, and then you can reverse it and it will actually do more if you go the other way, if that makes any sense. But I bought some of the thinner brushes before, and they don't work as good and they wear out faster. That style that I have there, you can wire wheel about 2.5 tractors with it. So I already did the 500,000 and the Hydrotrack 14 I did, as well as most of this one. The rust eats them up. So the front frame, I wasn't able to do very good on it because it was so rusty. And it's already red, so that'll just get sanded down and then painted. Fenders are kind of the same deal. Them are going to need a sanding. Hitch plate was whatever. Front grille, it was too hard to get in there with the drill for most of it. This side wasn't working out either, so I'm gonna just end up sanding that. I was starting to gouge the grill. I couldn't get a good angle at it, and I was starting to gouge the aluminum, so I just skipped it with that one. So that'll get just sanded. Dash down to bare metal. Hood. That was that yellow rear frame. That's now down to red. So all that stuff has to get sanded yet. But first I need to do this. So I will come back when this stuff is ready for paint. Alright, so I got everything cleaned up, pressure washed. So pretty much ready for paint for the most part, like I said I was gonna. I took a plasma cutter and I cut off the part of the battery tray because the engines I'm gonna put in these will not fit with the other the gas tank part there, so I got that done on both of them. All the white stuff for the 2 tractors are painted. So the white dash is done. The grille for the 66 and then of course the two hoods for both of them. They both turned out really nice. So this one here has a bit of dust on it, but you can kind of see a little reflection there of almost like a rust. I don't know, the camera ain't picking it up, but let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit there. It's not going to be perfect. That hood was pretty bad. It was just kind of whatever. The hood for the Custom, though, that turned out really nice. You can see how nice and glossy and shiny and smooth that turned out, so I'm happy with that. And then I got a few other things here to show you real quick. Alright, so before I ended the video, I thought I'd do a little video on 3-point hitches and some other parts I've been making. So, beginning of the year, I made the handles for all of these hitches except for that one that's a factory one. So, handle for these 4, as well as this little piece here where the center link goes to. So, I just got done, because I have a plasma cutter now, it's a lot easier. Basically just torching out them 2 holes on each side, and that one there I drilled. And then I just don't have the 2 arms for them 2 hitches, otherwise everything here is complete. So that's kind of cool. I got the rod that goes through the frame. I actually have a ton of those because almost every tractor I've been buying comes with one, but no 3-point. Whoever takes the 3-point hitch off forgets the rod in the tractor, so I end up with all of them. Factory 3-point hitch there, that's the one I've been using to measure stuff and make things out of. So of course that gets the factory center link, and the rest of these, you use like these cable tensioners. This one had to get a bolt there welded onto it so it would work. And then the rest of these are much smaller and lighter duty, so they're gonna obviously get used for lighter duty stuff, but I've been using them cable tensioners for quite a while. I've never had one break, so they should work fine. The 3-point hitch arms are only made out of 1/4-inch metal, so pretty much anything besides maybe a tiller will be fine. And of course the one bottom plow, you're pulling on it, so you're stretching it straight, you're not really pushing against it, so they should be good for most things. I've done a bunch of stuff with them already, and I just don't recommend. I recommend a factory 3-point hitch if you're using something as heavy like a tiller. Then I also made this concrete like brick / block, whatever, rear weight. It's supposed to weigh like 50 pounds or whatever, but I need to torch out a hole there for the center link and then drill a hole on each side of that piece of rebar, and this will be a 50-pound rear weight. So I took a concrete block, because we've got a bunch of them laying around here, and then filled the center of it with concrete. And this is actually part of a old frame off of a Custom. So yeah, that's it for this video. I don't know when I'm going to have part 2 out, but it'll be out eventually here, probably next week. So yeah, thanks for watching. And the 2 Customs are going to get these, the 2 3-points right there, which are the better ones. And then the one might end up with that weight on it just for the fun of it. And then thanks for watching.